welcome. This video is meant to introduce you to my project on human body kinetics, better known as principles of kinesiology. What you're watching is a sequence from an ancient form of Chinese martial art known as Tai Chi. Today, it is better known as a form of exercise and is commonly practiced to increase balance and stability. The slow and meditative forms by themselves are not overly complicated. However, combined, they create a complex amalgamation which requires a great deal of concentration and full body coordination. It is quite challenging to both the mind and the body, and practitioners will spend months not only to learn the forms, but years to develop the ability to do them correctly. But why am I having you watch a Tai Chi sequence to talk about kinesiology? Well, for one, it's enjoyable to look at, and it gives me the opportunity to talk about kinesiology, which is all about body movement. Tai Chi is one example of the movement arts that happens to be very heavy in movement discipline. Kinesiology, or kines for short, details in-depth understanding of the body and its structure, the muscles, and other connective tissues. It is used to identify anatomical variations, which we all have, and body types, which are all different. And perhaps most importantly, it shows how to avoid injury during practice, or treat injury when it happens, as it does from time to time. My intention is to use these principles to create a series of educational resources in the form of videos that can be used by both students and teachers who participate in the variety of movement art forms and athletic disciplines. These include martial arts, dance, and other athletics. This type of product is important to develop, as each of these disciplines relies heavily on tradition-based practice, but whose teachers and coaches have little to no study or understanding of basic movement principles to draw from while giving instruction. Also, where similar resources exist to teach such concepts, there is no instruction given as to how to apply the knowledge once it's been received. My hope is to provide both the resource and the understanding of how to implement principles of kinesiology into both practice and instruction in a fun and interactive way. Now, I should also clarify one point. This is not a series about what is known as applied kinesiology, which is a different study and mostly involves holistic and alternative forms of medicine. No, kinesiology, the science, is what you would spend at least a couple of years studying at a university if you were planning to go to medical school or become a physical therapist, for example. But that's also why almost all coaches in the movement arts or recreational industries have no background in these studies. It takes a lot of time and a lot of money to learn it. But that's why these tools I'm developing are so valuable. Traditional practices can always benefit from modern understanding, and just because instructors have gone without this training doesn't mean it's not needed. During the course of my nearly 10 years of professional teaching in the movement and recreation industries, I've seen a lot of common mistakes resulting in injuries to students, born out of common practices, without understanding technical implementation, or often even why a practice is done. These kinds of injuries can easily be avoided. In my video instruction, I will provide instructors with insight that will allow them to identify areas of potential harm to their students, and why that is. They will then be prepared to offer more in-depth instruction and have greater vocabulary to aid them in correcting a student's technique in class, or offer appropriate modifications to a practice to suit a particular student's needs. This will add value to any class and work to retain students longer. Students will also feel more confident in the instruction they are receiving and will advance more quickly towards their goals. Thank you for your support of athletics and those who participate in them. If you have any questions, please send me a message and I'll respond to it right away.